It's a train wreck. It's a train wreck. But maybe they can turn it around. Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Angie, this is my husband Tim, and this week we are recapping Seeking Sister Wife Season 6, Episode 3, Freaky Stuff is Going On Here. Last week was I'm trying to create Voltron here. It seems that they're taking snippets of what people have said on this show. In this case, it was Joel, Yessell's brother.
No, that sounds about right.
Overall impression of this episode?
I can't stand almost anybody.
Yeah, he was saying everyone, with the exception of Nick, had a punchable face.
And I could probably be dissuaded for Nick too. I started coming up with a chart. Which one has the most punchable face? There's something about the energy that these men have that is just so... you know what I mean.
I wasn't expecting to dislike Matt as much as he presented himself in this episode.
Oh my goodness, he was the worst. He's the top of my pyramid right now.
Or bottom, I should say.
I guess. But seriously, that guy, that smug face that guy has, yeah, no, can't handle that guy.
This will be my last highlight video, then I'm going to go on a hiatus. So that's the schedule, or what I'm predicting will happen.
Yeah.
Let's start off with how they appeared. The Davis family.
The more I see Teresa, the more I don't like her.
Yes. Last week, Teresa did a video either on her IG or Starcasm where she revealed, and I don't know how she was able to do this, assuming that she signed a non-disclosure, but she did reveal that when she was a sex worker...
Okay.
Well, I assume in the past because on the show she says that she has an HVAC business.
You could probably make a joke about that. She specializes in sucking and blowing.
Yeah.
Don't put that in the thing.
No, why not? That's funny.
It's a filthy joke.
That's funny.
I mean...
I'm including that.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim. All right. But a really big detail that she said was that the Davis family essentially is not a polygamous family. They are a polyamorous family. The women do have sexual relations with one another. Mm-hmm. And I think, as we said last week, this is a big factor as to why this family has been as successful as it has, because it's equal, it's egalitarian. Sorry, Yessell, I know you're going to say later in the episode that polygamy should be fair amongst the wives, and that's how these things work, but I don't think you know what equal means.
I think the issue is that he wants the sisters to be equal with each other, but not with him.
No, he wants patriarchy.
He wants hierarchy with him at the top.
So I was wondering, this was a speculation that pretty much every viewer had at the back of their minds, and that this was just confirmed. So TLC obviously didn't want Teresa to out that they aren't exclusively polygamous, nor her past work life.
Yeah, it kind of does undercut the polygamist aspect, and it also undercuts, I guess, the demographic for the show.
Yeah, because the show is riding on the coattails of Sister Wives, which may or may not be canceled in 3 more seasons.
Oh my goodness, really? 3 more seasons?
Yeah, I think there's rumors that they're still filming season 21. Don't know how they're doing that because they are scrimping the bottom of the barrel for content.
They've clawed through the bottom of the barrel and they're digging through the ground underneath it.
I'm currently not watching Sister Wives season 20. From what I've heard, I don't know if it happened yet, where Cody and David do race cars together. Mary is speed dating, and they show some fake routine where Cody helps Solomon do his hair, even though Solomon is in 8th grade. They are desperate for content at this point.
Yeah.
You're so happy we're not recapping Sister Wives.
I am. Sister Wives peaked halfway through season 1.
But you said that the Halloween episode was your favorite.
I thought that was season 1.
That's season 2.
I guess. Okay, they peaked in season 2.
I'd say they peaked at the Shark Tank episode. That was my favorite episode. Until around the time that Maddie got engaged. And then they did the trend where kids get married, kids have babies, people are moving still. And that's when it started getting grating and unwatchable.
I mean, it was always a little grating and unwatchable. I'm just saying that was the highest it ever got to. That was a 6 out of 10 is the highest episode. Anyway, the Davises.
Anyways, the Davises, moving on from Teresa's side interview, Nick is going out on a date with her. They re-explain how long they've known each other. 14 years, quite a long time. She has been, I guess, dating the Davises, because I was about to say she's dating Nick, but granted, if this really is a polyamorous family, she's also dating Jennifer and April.
She's desperately trying to claw herself out of the friend zone.
Yeah, we'll get more into that aspect of her, where I feel Teresa is trying too hard. Right now, we are seeing Nick dressing up in a silver 3-piece outfit, looking like a pimp.
Yeah, he looks good.
He said he was looking fly.
Yeah.
And you notice the pendant he was wearing resembled a lot like Doctor Strange's necklace.
The Eye of Agamotto. The Eye of Agamotto.
We know that the Davises dabble in the occult, as we've touched on a little bit last season.
I love that for them.
That kind of fits his aesthetic. The Eye of Agamotto, if you've never seen Doctor Strange, is what enables Stephen Strange to cast his spells. He goes out to what looks like a brewery, or...
Yeah.
They didn't eat, I noticed. They just had a drink. He greets Teresa at their table, so I'm guessing she must have came to the restaurant from work, because they obviously didn't go to the establishment together.
Yeah, they met there.
Teresa is several inches taller than him.
At least 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, and she was wearing pumps, so that made her look even more imposing. They talk more about the background of who they are, where they are in this relationship. Teresa was in love with Nick for so long. She says that they were best friends.
Yeah.
I didn't get that impression.
I don't know.
But she was in a relationship. That's why she hasn't said anything until now. I was suspicious of that claim because, as you know, from what she revealed, she is an aspiring rapper. The Davises do have a platform which she can benefit from. It didn't seem from the Sarcasm interview that she was still with them. So I am skeptical of Teresa's intents. She goes on to say she was willing to risk it all. Nick says that, was it 14 years? He didn't clue into Teresa's infatuation with him because he, quote, is full of himself, which he translates to be as a high opinion of himself. As a result, he has to think in the opposite direction, where he errs on the side of caution and that other people don't feel that way about me. What I think is great probably is a turnoff to other people. I didn't think that this woman could be attracted to me. I think that's what he was trying to say.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense too, where he has to
check himself.
To explain why he was oblivious all these years.
It also could just be that Teresa's blowing smoke out her ass.
Yes. Again, 14 years is a long time to wait. She didn't come up when they were dating Jasmine. I don't know. Teresa later says that she was in a relationship, but it also contrasts her story where she says that she was in love with Nick for the time that they have known each other.
I think she implied that she was in love with Nick the entire time.
Oh, okay.
And that Nick was not aware.
Okay. Teresa goes on to say that now that Dannielle is out of the picture and that she's in the right place, where I guess that means she's single, that made her want to come forward with her feelings and her potential rapper career.
Yeah.
Which someone was able to look up Matt Johnson. They were able to look at his Instagram, and he's apparently also an aspiring rapper. All these people.
I don't see it.
No. Back to the date. Nick asks her questions of what could he be doing more of. She just says she wants more cuddles. They leave. Nothing really substantial was said. They go home, and this is where she carries him and spins him around. That was funny.
Nick is exceptionally confident. And he's well-spoken. And I can imagine a lot of women would find that attractive. It's still strange that so many women simultaneously want to get with this guy. But it's not completely crazy, at least not to me.
When you said last week that it's a very special kind of person with a cocktail of background traits that make them want to have polygamy, it's also that way for that person that is attracted to being with someone like Nick and being legally married to another woman and being very fulfilled in that.
We see that Teresa is disappointed that she can't marry somebody as a show of devotion to Nick. That's probably the most culty thing on the show so far.
I was thinking, you've only intimately known these people for 3 months, and now you're trying to speed run your way into another sister wife just so you can prove your loyalty to April, Jennifer, and Nick?
Teresa is far too assertive. It seems that everybody gets that except Teresa.
Moving on, they're back in their house, and they say it's a Friday night every night, even though I think today's Tuesday right now. This is where the wives say they like to unwind every night, and Nick does have the role of setting up that ambiance, getting them drinks. As we've said before, Teresa's excited to start dating again, to change her last name to Davis. This time, unlike in season 5, the Davises are hesitant to seek a sister wife.
It's clear that everybody involved is exceptionally comfortable with Nick and Teresa having a sexual relationship, but Teresa appears to be the only one who thinks that there's any sort of romance in the air.
At this point, you're saying that Nick is not feeling the romance from Teresa.
Well, he's feeling it from her, but he does not feel anything for her.
Yeah?
Yes.
You don't think that's developed yet?
No, not
okay.
from the way that Nick is acting about
Okay.
any of this.
Since they married her, you think he had romantic feelings for Dannielle?
I think maybe. I think the issue is what Nick keeps saying, that he's been on friendship terms with this woman for so long, it's hard to
put her in another box?
Yeah, to conceptualize her as something else than what she has been to him.
It's also possible they might be picking up on her over-eagerness.
Oh yeah, probably. It's very off-putting.
They're like, you're trying too hard. Be calm. Even though that's the advice that they needed last season when Dannielle was saying, can we slow things down? This is too fast for me.
The inconsistency makes it hard to believe.
So Teresa asks what would happen if Dannielle returned. The wives and Nick are all pretty much unanimous that they don't want an ex-sister wife back. I'm thinking, yeah, you learned your lesson.
Yes.
Because that was literally every episode in season 5 where they're trying to guilt Dannielle into dating.
Which is an improvement, I guess. It is strange because it doesn't feel like the Davises are actually seeking sister wives. It seems a sister wife is seeking them, which is definitely a different dynamic.
Well, I guess in this sense, Teresa wants to seek this time. Nick goes on to say that he doesn't take their commitments lightly. I'm guessing he's saying whoever Teresa brings in, or even Teresa herself, he needs to feel it in his heart that this is someone that needs to be in their circle. I was about to say cult. Teresa be acting like a cult member.
Teresa's just, she's too aggressive.
Let me in.
Let me in.
The last scene of the Davises is when Nick and Teresa go into the hot tub. And this is where Nick goes into saying he's still trying to adjust to Teresa being a girlfriend. He really puts his face in her breast.
The man's not subtle.
Then he suggests that they go up to the boom boom room. Nick has to reiterate that sex is not the issue with Teresa. It's establishing the basis of love for each other in a romantic sense. And as they're doing this, he doesn't want their friendship to be ruined if this didn't work out.
The Davises are nothing if not enigmatic, as always.
You still are unclear about their motives?
I don't know if maybe Teresa's just here for the TV show. I don't know whether or not they have invited Teresa here just for the TV show.
Yeah, because they did stage a lot of things with Jasmine where she wasn't just a random woman who followed different but similar occultist beliefs.
Yeah, they knew who she was for a while, right?
Moving on.
The Garricks.
The Garricksons.
Ugh.
The birthday party is ongoing, and Lorena says she was very emotional before leaving Rio. And then this is where we cut to the three men outside Garrick. Scott, the father-in-law, and Sam, the brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
We get this weird snippet from Sam, Dannielle's biological brother.
Yes, he is regaling us with his hypothetical sexual prowess.
Yeah, that he does have a sex drive enough to need 6 wives.
But not the emotional intelligence.
Nor capacity. Case in point, Sam is horny.
I guess.
They go back into talking about a prenup.
Garrick's got a dumb look on his face with his stupid crown. It's not even his birthday.
Yes! And we bring up the similarities of Garrick looking like Nigel Thornberry.
Yeah, the way that his eyes never seem to be focused on the right thing. He's always got this 1,000-yard stare. Like he's never really quite there.
Garrick claims he understands that marrying Lorena has repercussions on other parties around him.
Well, he claims that he understands it.
And then he goes on to say that he did hire a lawyer in the past, but he was incompetent, so they went with a generic one.
It's a generic prenup where you just fill it out yourself and maybe print it out.
Yeah, he said something about it's alterable. You can edit things or put things in as you wish.
It's an open source prenup agreement. I don't know.
I don't know how these things work. I'm assuming the people over at Married at First Sight know more about prenup because they have to have a prenup there because that is insane.
This is only all that you hold material in your life, Garrick. How can you be such a dumb...
For some reason, the father-in-law doesn't seem worried.
I think the father-in-law is disassociating.
I don't know.
Mm.
I really had disdain seeing the parents of Dannielle, more so in this episode, because as we will see, Dannielle's weird behavior, I'm thinking this is the daughter you raised to be so submissive to this weirdo.
Yes, Dannielle, if anyone's disassociating, it's Dannielle in this episode. She is getting everything she's ever wanted, and she hates it.
The party continues, and they sing a version of the Happy Birthday song that I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
They flash back to 2 years ago, when it was also Dannielle's birthday, but that was either back in Mexico or Brazil, when Natalia was being proposed to.
Yeah.
But right now, Dannielle's giving a very teary speech saying she's blessed for her sister and the rest of her family. The party is over.
Both literally and metaphorically, Dannielle attempts to assert what little power she has left by sleeping with Garrick that night.
Well, Lorena said that she can be with him because it is her birthday. The very next day, Dannielle is shown moving her clothes down to the sister room. The two women discuss logistics, such as when to clean the bed sheets, what stuff to bring upstairs. There was a rumor on Reddit again. I put too much stock into these Reddit rumors.
Absolutely. I thought they were in Brazil.
Yeah, but someone speculated that perhaps Lorena could possibly already be pregnant.
Okay.
This is an interesting twist to Garrick and Dannielle have not experienced before. And this is where you said, if that's the case, Dannielle is definitely in her FAFO era.
Yes.
Where she did around and found out.
Yeah, she's definitely finding out at this point. Definitely in shock that she's actually having to move into the sister room, which, by the way, the sister room, that's still is just sirens, red flags saying this is kind of really effed up, weird daddy-daughter dynamic.
Because as you've said before, the sister room is a example of Dannielle wanting to be infantilized.
Yes, and so she's taking her things out of Garrick's room and putting them in the sister room, literally disassembling her life that she has lived for almost 20 years, and she is deconstructing the relationship and going into this cutesy little room that looks like it was decorated for two sisters on a Disney Channel show. It's
creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Want to move on to the next family?
Please.
We move on to the Peraltas. Yessell, or as Tim likes to call him, Yuxel, and Danny. They start off with Danny recapping her conversation she had with her BFF, Yessell's ex, and essentially Leah, the friend, grilled her. She told her of more of Yessell's red flags regarding this process.
Mm-hmm.
Danny does appreciate Leah's counsel.
Yes, but doesn't take any of it. No, she does. She's gonna sit Yessell down and
tell her what her boundaries are.
And I can just imagine Yessell just plowing right through all those boundaries.
Yes. In the past, they set up a fishing date. Well, he set up a fishing date. I'm assuming with the high school flame that they mentioned in episode 1. And that fishing date with that potential wife turned into a dinner, which turned into him going over to her folks' house.
For Plowtown.
All without Danny's knowledge.
Yeah, that's not... Oh man, that sister wife seeking didn't go well. He just...
cheated.
He just cheated on you with someone else and...
tried to cover it up by saying, let's get into polygamy.
Yeah, we don't like Yessell here.
Speaking of why we don't like him, Yessell says that he saw nothing wrong because he was already friends with this person. This angers Danny, and she's like, this is not going to happen again, so I'm going to be the one who's going to set the pace of your dates. They talk more about what this potential sister wife would look like, and Yessell says he wants someone who has their life together. A functional adult, basically. This is where we find out that Danny is fine with a woman
who already has kids
from a previous relationship. She is very adamant that she doesn't want this woman to have a child with Yessell. Very much the opposite of Billie Jean from the Williamson family.
Fair enough. Yessell's very upset about this because he thinks that
it's unfair.
That all women should willingly accept his seed.
Yes. I'm thinking, why would you think that, Yessell? You already have 4 kids. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
One of them is possibly from an unnamed baby mama.
I got the impression that Danny had struggled with...
Well, she says she doesn't feel safe conceiving again. First I took that to mean she's not comfortable being in labor or the whole pregnancy in general. And you said it's possible she was very traumatized due to having had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And that just happened to be a girl.
Yes.
Because Danny does say she does feel selfish for feeling jealous because a big part of why she doesn't want Yessell to have biological children is because she's afraid that that woman's going to have a daughter with Yessell. And Danny really did want to have a daughter.
I'm fairly certain that it was about a daughter that was lost, and that's why she's not safe conceiving again. I guess it's possible that there were health concerns that were threatening her life, but...
Yeah, but they don't have to say.
Yeah, she doesn't have to say. This is just speculation, and I think that Yessell is extremely jackasy if he doesn't seem to care.
Because...
regardless of her reasoning, you should fucking care, dude.
Yeah, because I don't know if it was Yessell or her that said this, but they said, well, this really slims down their choices. They would need a woman who, I guess, is already done having children.
Mm-hmm.
Yessell keeps going on to say that it's unfair, you're just creating drama.
Again, Yessell says that he wants fairness, but that's not possible because he wants the women to be fair and him to be up here just spreading his reproductive product equally. And that's not fair. That's just you getting what you want.
It's so weird why he wants a sister wife because, again, with their explanation from episode 1, where he wants Danny to have company while on his business trips, 1, his ex pretty much provides that.
Yeah.
And 2, a brother husband would make more sense than a sister
way
wife.
More sense. Yeah.
But his manliness won't be able to take that.
No, of course not. Oh my gosh, no.
Because that would be equal, Yessell.
That would be much more equal.
Yessell does say these long absences and work-related trips aren't going away anytime soon. And I remember someone speculating, again, on Reddit.
Bullshit, probably.
That it's possible Yessell has a second family when he's overseas.
Well, I mean, that's possible for any of them. I mean, unless you can prove anything.
For right now, they're trying to court someone before he leaves the country. Cue Yessell's younger brother, Joel, who's coming over for dinner.
Yes, they didn't have an actual interesting scene to show us, so we get the obligatory, let's tell a family member and see how much they freak out.
This interaction was at least better than with the Williamsons.
Yes, we like Joel. Joel is great. He's got a great shirt.
You said it was very Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, it was very Fresh Prince. You knew that he was looking through his closet going, what do I need to be on TV? That's the one, and he was right.
Younger brother comes over. Yessell and Danny say when they were courting the first women, they didn't tell any of their family of their intentions to be polygamous. And I was thinking, you probably didn't do that because even Danny didn't know of your intentions to be polygamous.
I mean, Yessell probably didn't know until he was inside. He's probably post-nut clarity.
God.
Like, how am I going to make this work?
Well, anyways, we go into more of Yessell's background in that he was raised in a traditional Dominican household where you're Catholic and you occasionally get punished with the chancla.
Yeah.
They continue talking to Joel, and he informs him that he is leaving for a work trip, but before he goes, they're using this time to search for a second wife.
Yes, they want to increase the size of their family, and Joel's
confused. First, he thought it was a prank. He was saying, okay, I'm going to make these facial expressions so that you'll know that, okay, haha, the joke is done. Because he really did think this came out of nowhere. Wonder what he thought the cameraman was there for.
I know. He knew that something was being filmed, but what?
I know in 90 Day Fiancé, Chantel and Pedro, when Chantel was telling her family that she was going to marry Pedro, they thought that the TV show was there for some sort of international student documentary.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe he thought this was not related to TLC Seeking Sister Wife.
I mean, they might have lied to him, yeah.
Joel then asks, okay, whose idea was this? And this is where Danny lies and says, it was mutual. We both came up with this.
I know. Yeah, mutual. PowerPoint presentation? No, we know it wasn't. And he has the perfect response.
What kind of freaky stuff is going on here? Joel says, it'll be awkward during the holidays. He mentions buying
2 chains
for, I guess, Danny and the potential wife.
It's a silly thing to be bringing up, but I guess he's reeling.
And the brother just says, well, if you're intent on doing this, be prepared for the criticism.
Okay.
And then he questions, what is the sex schedule going to be like?
Which you think that they would scoff, but no, Yessell's like, yeah, that makes total sense. I think Yessell was, well, yeah, like a schedule. And in a way that was not full of any appropriate level of shame.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what I thought.
And Joel goes on to ask, what happens when the reverse happens? This new woman introduces other men into their relationship.
Yessell at that point could have punched his brother in the spine and yelled, I am a man!
It's like, no, there is only one penis in this relationship.
In this relationship. Ugh.
Yeah, he did not like that insinuation.
Yeah, it's like, don't you understand? It only goes one way, my way.
Even though he brings up his criteria of successful polygamy, which is fairness.
Again, some people are just more fair than others.
Danny says that she wants polygamy for herself because it will be a load off her back. It's weird.
Again, we're not saying that it can't work, just I don't feel like these people are being honest.
No, obviously Danny is she's in a difficult situation because she doesn't want polygamy, but she's found a way to light their teeth or try to make it work, or else she might lose Yessell.
Or at least
I don't know.
the lifestyle that Yessell provides her.
I
don't know. I know.
Because Danny also works. I don't remember what her career was. Was she a nurse or something? I can't remember. Joelle does bring up the kid question. Of course, Danny addresses it, and she says it's okay if they bring in another kid that's not Yessell's, but she does bring up her distress that she would not be able to handle Yessell having another bio kid with this woman. Yessell's annoyed, saying this is unfair, and Joelle is just nervous that Danny and Yessell are going to divorce because of
this dumb It all started with a PowerPoint presentation.
Those are the Peraltas. So the last family are the Johnsons. We start off with Matt and Shanae holding hands walking down a hotel hallway. And he is very eager to have sex with her. But Shanae is adamant to only want a serious conversation.
It's clear here that Matt wants to get the milk without buying the cow.
I don't know why he's so eager right now, because the camera crew is there. They obviously want to film something, some conversations.
He's just overeager in general. I don't like Matt. He's probably my least favorite in this
He's worse
episode.
than Yessell?
I mean,
and
a little.
Garrick?
I mean, a little bit. Well, the way he's stringing this woman along, and then he just has a whole bunch of bullshit answers to her questions, and if he was halfway serious about this relationship, he would make it work, but he's not.
Yeah.
He is just a lazy that has no ability to have any commitment here.
We'll get into it. So Shanae brings up quality time again, and he claims to not be too busy enough for her, which I didn't feel that, given what he said in the last episode, where he said, I have to help Angelica ready the kids before she goes to work. So Shanae says she doesn't feel that way. She loves Angelica and their children, but she wants more from him. And this back and forth has been going on for 3 years. That is a very long time. She says she doesn't want to be an afterthought. And then Matt says the Cody thing. This was very infuriating, where he goes, you signed up for this. You knew I had children and a wife. You have one too, and you should understand wanting to spend time with your child. And this is where you said, exactly. And that's why she's trying to transition that into being the norm.
Yes. He basically says, I can't let her go through the thing that you do every day. That would be unfair to her, but you can put up with it because you're a lower level, you know?
I didn't like Matt.
You're the side chick.
This is where Shanae mentions her daughter's name. She says maybe it's possible for one of us to move closer to the other. He says maybe Shanae can do that because her neighborhood is a bit more expensive than the one that they're living in.
Okay.
I'm assuming they both live in Rhode Island.
They probably tell us, but I haven't been paying attention.
I don't know what state Shanae lives in. And this is where the conversation is cut off. Shanae says she doesn't want to discuss this any further until Angelica is here. She asks for a massage, even though he wants sex, and she reminds him of his self-imposed responsibilities, aka he can't stay with her for long.
Yes.
Because he has places to be.
Obviously, you can't have sex because you need to get home, because you keep saying that.
What were your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on this are, if they are actually serious about making this work, they have to have a plan. They've been doing this for 3 years, and they still haven't come up with a plan. They're still at the head-scratching point, where they're like, oh boy, that would be sure great if we could fix this. Well, maybe you should fix it. Oh man, that's too hard. If you want this, then you need to make it work. And the fact that you haven't, and he's got that dumb face where he's just like, okay, I'm going to massage you, but, I'm not going to give you a good massage, because if you did, then you're going to want to have sex with me. And it's like... He did
say that, didn't he?
Yes.
I just didn't like how he tried to put the blame back on her, saying, well, you're a parent too. You understand how hard it is for a parent to be away from their children. And not to say that it's right to do the Cody thing where it's okay to replace your kids with other kids. But I'm just saying it's kind of hard, because at this point, if he really were to treat Shanae as a wife, then at some point he needs to treat Michelle, her daughter, like one of his own.
Yeah, he would have to do that. And at this point he doesn't, because he doesn't value her beyond anything besides a side chick.
So, putting that in mind, going on a tangent, I obviously don't like that Cody has replaced the OG 13 with Robin's 5.
Yes.
Because I am conflicted about that.
Oh, no. The issue with Cody is that Cody basically disowned his starter children for his new set of shiny children. And that's the issue. That's the issue. That's the thing that everybody is upset with Cody about. If Cody was consistently negligent with all of the children equally, I don't think he would get as much.
Mm-hmm. But you see, he is just the shining example of a father with Dabza. I think that's what they're called.
No, I
Dayton Aurora.
Dab's Arc.
RK is Robin Cody, so you would eliminate that. So just Dabza.
Think of it this way. If they were actually going to be a family unit, then this daughter of Shanae would effectively be one of his children, and that daughter deserves just as much attention as anybody else.
And then you would want to have them be raised together with their siblings, ergo you would already be living in, at least in the same vicinity.
Yeah, that daughter deserves to have what she needs, and if her mother believes that she needs a father figure, then she deserves as much as anybody else. And the idea that he doesn't feel like he needs to be that tells me that he's not serious about any of this, and he's just a boy.
This goes way beyond his previous explanation of why they want polygamy. It was Angelica's idea. She just wants a friend. She just wants a confidant.
Which might be true.
But given this episode, no, I think he just wants a side chick that he doesn't really want to be responsible.
Well, I mean, you could say that Angelica doesn't want to be responsible either.
Yeah, that is also true.
She's just as responsible for making this work. Maybe Angelica could say, I think I could handle one day to get the kids ready without you, and that would be fine. But she doesn't suggest that. She expects Shanae to just
roll with it.
Yeah, to roll with it. And so I think they're both equally shitty in this.
Mm-hmm. From the trailer, we're going to see Shanae suggest, what if I date other men? While we're figuring this out.
And rather than address the concerns, Matt is just like, you're going to be back because you want the Matt. You want my perfectly round head. This is what you see at night. Rather than addressing the concerns, he decides to be weird and petty about it, which just makes him come off as pathetic and
icky. Matt, in summary, has
plummeted down the chart.
So he is where Yessell and Garrick are.
Yeah, I know.
Those are all of our families. I think it's 5 families per season.
How is Nick, being Nick, still the best of all of them? Even with all of his stuff, he's still consistently beating out everybody else.
Again, because they don't practice polygamy. They practice polyamory. And I think that's a big factor of why the inequality is a little bit lower.
Yeah. The bar is so low.
I'm no social scientist here. I don't want to say polyamory is better than polygyny or polygamy.
I think any relationship is based on fundamental exchange of what you need and what other people need, and that is best satisfied by an equal reciprocal relationship. And any kind of form of polygamy in which it is your birthday and also you're marrying a sister wife and your husband's walking around with a crown.
Red flag, red flag.
Is not that. My 5 Wives? What's the guy?
Brady?
He does it okay.
Yeah, he does it okay.
But I mean, still not ideally. Out of all these examples, are there any really great ones?
People keep on saying the Winders, because I could say the same thing about the Williams with Brady and his wives as well. They haven't been filmed enough, or we don't know enough about them to see more cracks like we have with the Browns.
The Browns don't have cracks. They have the Grand Canyon.
Yes, there was no foundation at all.
Nobody was looking at the Browns thinking, man, look at that foundation. It sure is firm. No,
I think Cody was thinking people looked at him like that. I remember in one episode he said, there are all these people that think, oh, your family and your dynamic is so Pollyanna, and that's not how it is every day. And we're all thinking, no one ever thought that about you guys.
I think they were still better than
the FLDS and other AUB families.
Which that just makes polygamy look worse.
Yes.
They were the best. And they're so bad.
Okay, all right. We've talked enough. I don't think I'll put out another episode. I think I'm going on a hiatus again. These just take a lot of work. We live with other people. We just had to sit through just a bunch of water running, sirens, Morty.
The dog, yeah.
These take quite a bit of behind the scenes effort, and I have other responsibilities I have to attend to before baby gets here.
Yeah.
So thank you for sticking with us, and you'll know based on the notifications whether we'll be back or not.
Okay.
Okay, so bye.